The Senator's Secret, Part 1. The Baby That Changed Everything. The summer heat hung heavy over the Louisiana bayou. Mosquitoes buzzed through the humid air, while 10-year-old Taylor Babineau sat on the broken wooden steps of the shack she called home. Her bare feet dangled above muddy water as she stared toward the horizon. One day, she promised herself, she would leave, and she would never come back. Behind her, angry shouting echoed through the tiny house. Her father was drunk again. The sound of a bottle smashing against a wall made Taylor close her eyes. "Useless woman!" her father roared. A moment later came the familiar sound of her mother crying. Taylor gripped the railing so hard, her knuckles turned white. She hated this life. Hated the poverty, hated the fear, hated the way people in nearby towns looked down on families like hers. Her father, Claude Babineau, worked as a fisherman. Some weeks he brought home enough money to buy groceries. Most weeks he didn't. Their shack leaned slightly to one side. The roof leaked whenever it rained. Sometimes Taylor slept with pots beside her bed to catch the dripping water. She promised herself every night, "I will never live like this again." Taylor's mother, Celeste, was a beautiful black woman with warm brown skin and kind eyes. Taylor had inherited none of those features. Instead, she had pale skin, golden blonde hair, blue eyes. Most people assumed she was white. Few people ever met her mother. Their family lived so deep in the bayou that almost nobody visited, and Taylor never corrected people's assumptions. She quickly learned how differently the world treated her. By age 12, she was studying the speech patterns of television news anchors. She practiced words in front of a cracked bathroom mirror, again and again, trying to erase her country accent, trying to sound educated, trying to sound important, trying to sound like she belonged somewhere better. Her mother would sometimes watch quietly. "You don't have to change who you are, baby." Taylor smiled politely, but she disagreed, because she knew exactly who she wanted to become. Someone far away from the bayou, far away from poverty, far away from Claude Babineau. Years passed. Taylor excelled in school. Teachers praised her intelligence. Guidance counselors encouraged her to apply for scholarships. She studied harder than anyone else. While other teenagers attended football games, Taylor spent weekends in the library. Every A on her report card felt like another step toward freedom. Then, during her senior year, the letter arrived. Louisiana State University, full scholarship. Taylor cried when she opened it. Her mother cried too. Even her father looked impressed. For nearly 30 seconds. Then he asked if college students made enough money to buy beer. Taylor left the bayou 2 months later, and she never looked back. College transformed her. At LSU, she refined every detail of herself. Her speech became polished. Her confidence grew. Her clothing changed. Nobody knew where she came from. Nobody knew about the shack. Nobody knew about her father. Nobody knew her mother was black. Taylor simply allowed assumptions to exist. When classmates believed she came from a small white farming family, she never corrected them. It felt easier, cleaner, safer. By graduation, she had become the woman she'd always imagined. Beautiful, sophisticated, successful, and ambitious. A marketing firm in Baton Rouge hired her immediately after college. The salary exceeded anything her parents had ever earned. Taylor bought her first luxury apartment, then her first designer handbag, then her first luxury vehicle. Each purchase felt like proof she had escaped. Finally escaped. Then she met Amber. Amber Landry came from one of Louisiana's wealthiest families. She loved parties, fundraisers, political events, charity galas. One evening, Amber invited Taylor to a gathering attended by politicians, business leaders, and old money families. "You'll love it," Amber promised. "The most influential people in Louisiana will be there." And Taylor spent hours choosing the perfect dress. When she entered the ballroom that evening, crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead. The room overflowed with wealth and power. And that's where she met Brad Welch. Tall, blonde, handsome, confident, the son of one of Louisiana's most powerful families. Brad's father, Tom Welch, was a millionaire businessman with extensive political connections. His mother, Evelyn Welch, belonged to several prestigious charitable organizations. Brad himself seemed destined for politics. The moment he saw Taylor, he walked across the room. "I don't believe we've met." Taylor smiled. "No, Senator-to-be. I don't believe we have." Brad laughed. And from that moment on, They were inseparable. They dated for 1 year. Lavish dinners, private vacations, country clubs, fundraisers, political events. Taylor embraced the lifestyle effortlessly. She looked as though she'd been born into it. The only thing Brad found unusual was her family, or lack of one. Every time he asked questions, Taylor gave vague answers. They've all passed away. Eventually, he stopped asking. When they married, no relatives attended. Only friends, co-workers, political figures, and members of the Welch family. Tom Welch found it strange, but not strange enough to investigate. The wedding appeared in newspapers across Louisiana. The beautiful future senator and his elegant bride. A perfect couple, a perfect future, a perfect image. Exactly what political campaigns needed. Soon afterward, Brad won his election. At just 36 years old, he became one of the youngest senators in state history. The media loved them. Taylor became a rising political spouse. Graceful, intelligent, photogenic. Everything seemed perfect, and for a while, it truly was.
1 year into the marriage, Taylor discovered she was pregnant. Brad nearly lifted her off the floor celebrating. "A son," he joked. "I know it's going to be a son." Taylor laughed. "What if it's a girl?" Brad kissed her forehead. "Then she'll rule the world." The pregnancy brought the couple even closer. Brad attended appointments, read parenting books, built nursery furniture himself. His mother, Evelyn, became Taylor's constant companion. Shopping trips, baby showers, nursery decorations. They spent countless afternoons together choosing paint colors and baby clothes. For the first time in her life, Taylor felt she truly belonged somewhere. A real family, a loving husband, a beautiful future. Everything she'd worked so hard to build. Everything she'd sacrificed for. Everything she'd dreamed about. Then labor began. 21 exhausting hours. Brad never left her side, holding her hand, encouraging her, telling her how strong she was. Finally, the doctor announced the baby was coming. Taylor pushed, again and again. Then the room filled with the cry of a newborn baby. For one beautiful moment, she smiled. Her son was here. Safe, healthy, perfect. Then she noticed the silence. The strange silence. The doctor stopped speaking. The nurses exchanged nervous glances. Brad stared at the baby, frozen, his face drained of color. Taylor frowned. "What is it?" Nobody answered. A nurse carefully placed the newborn into Taylor's arms, and her heart stopped. The infant had deep brown skin, beautiful dark curls, features impossible to mistake. The baby was unmistakably black. Taylor felt panic surge through her body, not because of the child, because she instantly understood what everyone else was thinking. Brad stepped backward, his expression twisted with disbelief. "No." Taylor looked up. "Brad, no." His voice shook. "You cheated on me." Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't." "Look at him." Taylor held the baby tighter. "Brad, please listen." The room had gone completely silent. Doctors stared at the floor. Nobody wanted to be present for this conversation. Taylor swallowed hard. The truth she had hidden her entire life now stood before her. There was no escaping it. "My mother is black." Brad blinked. "What?" "My mother is black." The room seemed to tilt. Taylor continued speaking through tears. "I'm half black." Brad stared at her as though she'd become a stranger. "I never cheated." "My father is white. My mother is black." "I inherited his features." "The baby inherited hers." Brad looked physically ill. "No, it's true. No. Brad, please." He stepped toward the door. "You're lying." "I'm not." But he was already leaving. The door slammed behind him, and Taylor suddenly felt more alone than she ever had in her entire life. Because deep down, she knew exactly what kind of family she'd married into, and she feared what would happen next. To be continued. Before you go, I want to thank each and every one of you for spending time with me today. If you're enjoying The Senator's Secret, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapter. And trust me, you do not want to miss part 2. In part 2, Taylor discovers just how dangerous the Welch family really is. Trapped in a basement with her newborn son, she faces the darkest chapter of her life.
But help comes from an unexpected place, and a daring escape will change everything. Will Taylor and her baby survive? Will anyone discover what happened to them? And will the powerful Welch family finally be exposed? You'll have to come back for part 2 of The Senator's Secret to find out. Until then, thank you for watching. And remember, sometimes the truth can be hidden, but it can never stay buried forever. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think Brad is going to do next. Like, subscribe, and share.